MSNBC's Rachel Maddow recently discussed her book, Blowout, in which she argues that the gas and oil industries are weakening democracies around the world. Here's a portion of her talk.
Dealing with this is not rocket science. Dealing with this is about making sure that the interests of this industry don't outstrip and overpower competing interests that are just as important or more important. They need to be regulated. I mean, and it's possible. And this is the part of it where I feel like American citizens and American news consumers are really privileged in this regard, because the Western oil majors are all either headquartered here or do significant business here. And as such, the US government, federal government, has the ability to change the behavior of all the Western oil majors all at once by requiring them to do business in a way that is more responsible. Even when it comes down to something as basic as bribing foreign governments. One of the last sections of the book is about something really sexy called Section 1504. But it was Section 1504 of the Dodd-Frank Wall Street Reform Act, which literally required oil companies to declare publicly when they were bribing other countries. Like, they just have to be open about what their payments are to foreign governments, so that people in those countries, and those of us here, and anybody else who wants to do activism around this issue, can tell whether they are bribing people in order to get their way. And that became law. And it wasn't, and yes, Rex Tillerson went crazy about it, and the oil industry didn't want it, but passing that sort of a transparency measure would have a huge impact in the world in terms of what oil companies are able to get away with propping up despots and ruining governance in other countries. It's this really small thing. It's literally the 1504th section of that bill. And had that gone through, it wouldn't have changed the world in one fell swoop, but it would have made a big difference and canted that industry away from some of its most toxic behavior. And that's the first thing that the Republicans and the Trump administration overturned when Trump was sworn into office. And they didn't argue about it. They didn't want there to be a public debate about it. They just did it. They made it so that people who'd been adjudicated mentally ill could more easily buy firearms. And they made it so that the oil industry doesn't have to declare its bribes. Those are the first two things they did when they got control. And if we knew more about that, and we as a country knew to watch out more for things like that and understood and appreciated the importance of those things, I think we'd fight harder to stop that from happening.
To watch the rest of this program, visit our website, booktv.org, and search for Rachel Maddow or the title of her book, Blowout, using the box at the top of the page.